Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 5 of Swords. I think a lot of you right now are asking questions, searching for answers about things, trying to make some sort of order out of the chaos, out of the confusion, out of the what the WTF is going on in the world, right? Trying to find some sort of sense, some sort of reason for things, needing some kind of stability, because there's so much unknown, there's so much uncertainty. To me, this is a card of stress. And sometimes stress is when you have way too many demands on you, right? Not enough resources to fulfill all those. There's so much pressure on you, and there's no way that you can get all that stuff done. Okay? And so we feel stressed. Yeah. I think some of you are going through a period right now of tremendous stress. I think that what we all kind of need sometimes is a mental break, some kind of reprieve, something to help us kind of stabilize. Maybe it's a card that's saying, hey, we just need some meditation, we need, a cup of hot tea, we need some breathing exercises, a friendly game of cards, something that's not stressful. I think that Spirit is sort of pointing us to finding some time to do nothing, finding some time to just unwind the mind. And maybe that's through reading some easy book. Maybe it's through doing something, painting something not stressful, right? Not everything we do has to be so stressful in life. Yeah. Maybe you need to schedule some time to just sit there and stare at the wall. Watch paint dry, watch the grass grow. Gaze at the clouds. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on here. We have a 6 of Wands, the Empress, we have the Hierophant, and the Magician, and the Eon card. You're surrounded by divine energy. You are under divine protection right now, Cancer, okay? You are being divinely guided, divinely influenced, divinely protected, okay? Divinely guided, and you're being given a tremendous opportunity now to change something massive in your life. Make big change. Oh, another card of change. Wow. We have the Tower, we have a Queen of Cups, we have a Queen of Swords, and we have another card of change and transformation with the Death card, okay? We have slow and gradual change. We have very rapid and abrupt change, okay? So we've got to be careful with those energies. And we have your heart and mind here in the middle. We have your moods, and we have your kind of objective, view of things. And, we'll talk about all of this. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with our little octopus friend, the 8 of Pentacles. Right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments beneath the video. Now, as we look around the room, we do see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards. We see fire, we see water, we see air. Okay, so we got a lot of spiritual energy in the building today, okay? I think that this is, for a lot of you, this is a time of a spiritual awakening. I feel there's a lot of spiritual growth taking place. I feel like there's kind of, with all the major arcana, kind of feels like your life is changing right now in ways that you may not really like expect, or ways that you maybe didn't plan for. I feel like with a lot of majors, sometimes it's that there are things happening that are outside of your control. Okay, and I think in some ways this is about the magician up here, right? Learning how to adapt to the changes that are happening around you, and trying to mold those changes in your favor. Trying to make sure, stay focused, so that what's going on in your life benefits you. Okay, so we got a lot of good major arcana cards here. I'm going to put down one angel number for us, and I want to put down also a oracle of empowerment. Okay, the healing elixir and the willpower. Yeah, I think those are going to be great additions here. This Five of Swords, like we were talking about, this is that stress, right? So I think a lot of you are dealing with things happening outside of your control, and it's stressful, right? And maybe that's a big source of stress. Things happening out in the world that we can't do anything about. How do we let go of those things? You know, how are we going to just be okay with everything that's happening when there's nothing we can really do to prevent it or to make sense of it? I don't understand why it's happening. Okay. So I think, yeah, for a lot of us, it's going to be breathing exercises, finding security in our communities, finding security in our conversations with other people, being able to talk about kind of what's bothering us, and what is worrying us. Okay. And relieving some of that stress the best that we can, okay? And in a way, the magician is learning to kind of let go of things that we can't change, you know, that serenity, right? Learning to accept the things that we can't do anything about, because we don't need the additional, life is stressful enough, yeah. We also have the Six of Wands here, which is a card of victory after a fight. So I feel like in some ways, there are things you can do and there are things you can't do. There are things you can change and things that are beyond your control. So this is about you like picking your battles. I think a lot of you kind of want to change the world. You want to change everything. Okay, you kind of want to do everything at once. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of suggesting that we find a way that we can really contribute. We find some kind of a team that we can be part of. Okay, and I think that a lot of you are part of some sort of a group where there are similar goals, and there are kind of overlapping beliefs, and everybody's kind of on the same page. Okay, this might be at work, it might be at home, it might be at school. This is a card of, to me, a card of recognition. I feel like a lot of you are leading something. I feel like you're leading a team over a finish line. Okay? And it may be that the stress is really coming from like the pressure, where you know that a lot of this is up to you in a certain realm of life. If you are the head of a department, you're the head of the family, you're the one that's leading a team of people, or whatever it might be, I feel there is a lot of stress that goes along with that, okay? But with all this divine support, you know, the divine guidance and the healing and the nourishment, I think the healing, the elixir of healing is going to be a very important energy for you as you are dealing with this, because I feel that it's a very, very challenging situation for a lot of you. It's going to work out in your favor, okay? But it doesn't make it any easier, though. I think knowing that it's going to be okay helps to minimize the stress, and we'll find ways to deal with that stress while you're engaged in the hard work. See, the 5 or the 6 of swords, 6 of wands, is victory after a fight. But it means that the fight has to happen. Okay? So I think that you're able to identify what aspect of your life needs the most focus. Okay? And that's where you're putting your effort. So I think Spirit's saying, don't dissipate your energy by trying to fight all the battles. You know, not every battle needs you there. Okay? So pick the one that is going to be kind of the best overall, the one that Spirit kind of says, like, that's the one that you need to fight. The rest of them can wait. You know? And one crisis at a time, so to speak, yeah. Now, under the surface, you have a very nurturing Empress energy. Okay? Now, the healing elixir says, I'm healing. To every being I encounter, I offer my unique gift, but others need my medicine. But I must first offer this gift to myself. As I share my medicine with the world, we walk the healing path together. Okay? I think a lot of you are, again, trying to take care of too much at once. Overloading yourself, you know, and that's part of that stress where there's too many demands made on you and there's no ability to fulfill all those demands. It's like, you know, you got 1,000 emails saying, hey, I need you, 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 I need you. And now you're stressed out because you're just one person. How can you possibly give everybody what they need, you know? But that's what the Empress might try to do. The Empress may try to, you know, maybe it's about, you know, healing the world, right? Maybe it's trying to take care of the needs of everybody in your life, whether it's at work, at home, at school, friends, family, pets, plants, people. I think that there has to be a real kind of honest, like, realization here that's saying, first of all, that you're one person and you can't possibly take care of the needs of everybody that's asking that of you. And also, as you try to do what you can, you have to also take care of yourself. Okay? So even if you tried, even if you totally neglected yourself, you couldn't fulfill all the demands that are being made of you. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you got to take care of yourself anyway. So that kind of means, like, now the kind of pool is getting smaller. Yeah, I think for a lot of you, you haven't been focusing enough on your own needs and your own healing, physical healing, mental, emotional healing. Okay, so the Empress, I think, is here to be that voice from inside of you. It's kind of like your body is saying, "Hey, pay attention to me." You know, is there an ache, a pain? Is there something in your body right now that you haven't been paying attention to? It's kind of like when you got that, that ache in your back, or you've stubbed your toe, but you're not looking at it because there are other people out there that need you, and that's a wonderful quality. It's the nurse, it's the doctor, it's the caregiver that is in need of care themselves, but is sacrificing their own needs to take care of their patients. And maybe you're in the medical field. I think some of you are in the medical field. Some of you, this is more about your work, your friends, your family, the jobs that you have. Okay. It could just be a general disposition for a lot of you too. That you tend to not pay attention to what you need because you're busy out there. Okay. So I think this week it'd be very important for us to get in touch with that physical energy of yours and see where you might need that elixir of healing. Because you want to heal, others. Others need your medicine, sure. And you're going to share your medicine with the world, yeah. But you've got to offer it to yourself too. So that is absolutely perfect with our Empress. Okay. Hierophant here in the background. Hierophant is a card usually of education, teaching, help, okay? Being offered help. I think that a lot of you are kind of in a position where a lot of people want your help, need your help. Again, goes right in there with our Empress, okay? I think that you can't possibly help everybody that needs you right now. You're going to try, and I know you're going to try. Make sure you take care of yourself too, and make sure that you tend to your own needs as well. This is sometimes a card of conformity. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's an old structure that isn't working for you anymore. Okay? It's an old worldview. It's an old way of doing things, maybe. Okay? This is maybe some way that you've been taught to do things, or it's an institution. Does that make sense? And I think it's something that is you're kind of rebelling against it a little bit. Okay? I think we're realizing that what was helping us back in the day now is kind of keeping us limited. Okay? I'm kind of looking at the tower out of the side of my eye here and thinking that's a liberation, that's a freedom. Like we're getting the heck out of this, you know? And this might be the confines of culture or tradition or certain aspects of your life and your worldview and your belief system. We could be talking politics and religion. I'm not going to go there, but these could be things that served their purpose in your life for a while. That they were useful at the time, but they're not so useful anymore. Okay, I think a lot of you are outgrowing the sort of the textbook, outgrowing the things that you were taught, or the curriculum that has been prescribed to you. Okay, so there's kind of a nonconformity energy in your reading today. Yeah, I think this would be a really good week for you to find out. Ask yourself, you know, what education, what knowledge, what beliefs, what values, what systems, okay, what curriculum, what programming, what recipe, right? You're still operating from that isn't working for you or doesn't match with what you believe. It's a time really for questioning what we've learned, what we've been taught. Not to destroy that, not to tear it down, but perhaps to say it's time to evolve, it's time to grow out of it. Maybe it's time to expand beyond this, okay? I think for some of you, this is going to be something in your life that you've been holding on to and relying on as kind of a crutch. And now it's time to step away from that crutch, okay? I think for some of us too, this is going to be the voice of your authentic self that is coming through to give you the guidance. So it's not coming from an external authority. It's not your parents telling you what to do. It's not your teachers telling you what to do. It's not society, it's not your friends, it's not the internet telling you what to do. It's you tapping into that inner voice, to that spirit within you. The guardian angel, the spirit guides, the ancestors, God, goddess, deity, conscience, universal mind, whatever you want to call it. Tapping into that internal spiritual guide. Because I feel that you are divinely guided right now. Spirit is asking you to focus on your needs, to heal, and to listen to that voice that's trying to guide you into what the right changes are for you to make. What is going to be the right challenge for you to face that will open up this divine doorway? Here we have willpower, achievements, success, striving forward, prosperity, go-getters, courage, and luck. Significant events are on the horizon for you. You will progress in your endeavors and gain new experiences. The right people, resources will be put on your path. An excellent proposal or change is coming up. You're destined for greatness, an upcoming change. Okay? And I think that this change is going to be a tower. It's going to be a very sudden change that's going to create a pivotal moment in your life that then is going to lead to very steady progress. Okay? I feel like there's a big change here. And this can be that idea of kind of a lifelong institution for you. And that battle, that stress that you're under right now, it could be whether or not you're meant to stay here and belong to this and uphold this tradition and be part of this forever, or if you're being told to liberate yourself from this and transcend this institution or this organization, maybe. Okay. Well, we could be talking about the job. We could be talking about your politics or your religion. Again, I'm not going to go there. But I think a lot of you are realizing that, the religion of your parents doesn't have to be yours. The politics of your parents doesn't have to be yours. If you want it to be, good. If you don't, you're not forced to stay here. You don't have to remain locked into this. You have to follow that inner wisdom, that inner voice, and do what is going to be right for you. Because the world is changing rapidly, and you have to understand what your authentic self is really kind of aiming toward. Okay. This feels like a very kind of serious, life-changing moment in a lot of your lives, okay? The Hierophant also, I think a lot of you are very well-educated people. I think you're all very intelligent. I think that some of you may even have like a teaching role somewhere. Yeah. I feel that it's important right now. I keep hearing this, like, pick your battles, pick your battles, pick your battles. Okay? There's some things that you aren't meant to fight against, but just meant to walk away from. Okay? Anyway, up at the top, we have also the Magician. You're very adaptable. This is your ability to take whatever situation you're in and make it work, right? You can be in that Hierophant energy and just say, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna go under the radar. I'm gonna optimize it. I'm gonna fit in. I'm gonna conform. It's gonna be fine. The Magician can change their shape to fit into any situation, you see. But that's the dilemma for a lot of you. Is this a situation that you want to change your shape to fit into? Or are you saying, no, I need to change the situation. I'm not going to conform to that. I don't want to be part of that. It's not me. It's not who I am. It's not what I want deep in my soul, I think that you, with this Empress energy, you're preparing for a major change. A lot of you are going through an awakening. Okay? I think awakening to the truth about who you are and what you're all about and what you want. The Magician can cause change in conformity with their will. But you have to know what that will is. And you have to kind of be willing to take that risk. Use your willpower, right? Use your willpower to make those changes. And it's a choice. And here we have the Magician at that crossroads picking what road to take. Stay back here, stay part of the system, conform, fit in, find a way to change your shape so that you can get along here. Okay, this is probably a situation that it will protect you and it will keep you safe and it feels comfortable, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you've got to compromise yourself a little bit. You've got to contort and twist around a little bit to fit in here. Maybe this will be easier, less stressful. Okay, maybe this is at school, this is at home, this is at work. Whatever it might be. Or the Magician can go forward and can make the choice to say, I'm leaving this situation. This is a doorway, a divine doorway. that says you can either stay or you can go. We can't remain at the threshold too long. Okay? And I feel as if you are walking forward through this doorway. We see a lot of change here. This is you choosing change. This is change that's kind of happening. This is now the result of your change, result of your choice. And this is the long-term effect, the long-term progress that you're making, okay? Long-term change. So the Magician, I think for some of you, it's a matter of communication, okay? I think a lot of you need to kind of speak up and understand what, well, first listen, right? Listen to what that inner guidance is telling you. And then be able to sort of transmit that out into your life. Okay, you have to be a clear channel for that divine energy. A lot of the times this is, this could be someone who is blocking or rejecting their true nature. Because that divine energy is in there and it wants to come out and it wants to be transmitted out into your life. Sometimes something's blocking that. Something's that I have something to say, but I'm not saying it. There's something I want to do, or I want to be, or I want to have, someplace I want to go, but something's blocking that. Sometimes it's our karma that's blocking it. Sometimes it's our fear. Okay? Sometimes it's complexes that are blocking it, psychological complexes. We're trying to clear away those blockages so that we can be a clear channel for that divine energy. If you're a writer, go write. If you're a dancer, go dance. If you're a healer, go heal. If you're a fighter, go fight. You know? Not feeling as if you have to change your shape to fit into something else. You can be who you're meant to be. Okay? I think a lot of you are waking up to some of those blockages and making the decision to untie some of those knots, to fight against, to push back against those blockages. Okay. The Magician is, again, another highly intelligent energy. I think a lot of you probably are like multilingual. A lot of you probably very high IQ. I think a lot of you have a way with words. Yeah. And I think a lot of you could like be in like sales, you know. I think it's, this is in some ways the packaging. I think it's important that you understand what the message is. It's beneath the surface here. Okay. Now, in the future position, we also have this Eon card. The Eon card is a doorway to a future. I think a lot of you are taking a big step into a new future. A lot of you are kind of intentionally leaving the past behind you to start something new. It could be some of you are going through rites of passage, going from career to retirement, going from school to workforce, going from being a part of a group, you know, to being independent, right? Going from living at home to living on my own. Going from married to single, you know, or the other way around. Going from convention and culture and conformity to individuality, to uniqueness, to experimental, okay? To finding your individual voice. Speak with your, maybe some of you are artists, okay? And this is now the moment where you get to decide if you're going to just kind of paint by the numbers and do the hotel art, or if you're going to innovate, if you're going to take a risk on your own voice, okay? On doing things your unique way. To me, it feels like for a lot of you, there's a liberation of creativity. Yeah. And this is a divine doorway. It is a choice. It's a choice that's going to change the future. It's going to change the course of your life if you choose to go through that door. Okay? And this choice is going to be different for everybody. Okay? And it's not an easy choice. It's a doorway of fire. I mean, come on, right? Bless this space, your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Palo Santo or sage will clear the air. We need to clear the air. We need that purification of the mental space, right? Because of the stress. We got to find a way to get in that sacred space and calm down and do the breathing exercises and have that peaceful kind of calm, that meditative energy, right? That holding that sacred space. Clear the air so that you can understand if you're up for the fight, if you're up for the battle, if you're up to face this challenge right now in your life or not. It could be that you've come up to this doorway and you're saying, I'm not ready for this fight. I'm not ready to go down this road yet. So we turn and we go back. That's okay. I think a lot of you are ready. And you know, as difficult as it may be, you know that if you do it, if you make this decision and you step forward, even though it will be a challenge, okay, it will be, let's say, a spiritual fight, you know that you will be victorious. But you still know it's going to hurt, it's going to be a fight, right? So it's okay that we may not really believe that we're ready yet. I think a lot of you are. And I think that as we bless this space, we'll get the clarity that we need to see exactly what choice we're supposed to make, and we can go through this doorway. Now, going through this doorway, though, for a lot of you, is going to really change the course of your future. It's a pivotal moment, tower event. Towers are always disruptive. The towers are always chaotic. The towers always hurt a little, okay? The towers are usually unexpected. The towers are exclamation points in life. A pivotal moment. Basically, it's saying, look, the old chapter, if you go through that door, the old chapter of your life, done. Signed, sealed, delivered. The new chapter, though, after we turn the page and after the dust settles, you get to write that chapter. Okay? But this is that fear that we're up against this. We know on going through this doorway is going to be a tower moment. You're liberating yourself, though. You're liberating your creative energy. You're liberating your soul. You're liberating your voice, your idea. You're breaking down the walls that have been holding you back. Maybe those walls felt very safe. Maybe we feel like I'm not done cooking inside those walls yet. I'm not done learning. Maybe it's like I'm gonna stay in school a little while longer. Not yet ready to go do this thing, you know? The tower also has ripple effects. Okay, it affects other things and other people in your life. So that's a consideration as well. But there's also truth here. We have the open eye and we have the open mouth. There's the revelation. It's a liberation of your spirit, of your creative energy. It's a removal, a very abrupt removal of blockages. It could be, for some of you, it's a sudden spiritual awakening. It may be, for a lot of you, it's the choice now to see things as they truly are and to no longer hide from the truth and no longer silence your own voice. I feel like a lot of you are speaking up now. Okay? And I feel that it's... I feel like this is very, it's very sad. There's going to be life before, and there's going to be the life after this. This is a moment in time that is creating a very vivid memory. Okay, this is that event that you're going to tell your kids about, your kids' kids, and your kids' 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 kids. Because it's like all of your senses are activated here. Okay, it's a very salient moment in time. It's an exclamation point. Yeah. The old chapter is done. It's time to write the new chapter, but only if you're ready. Okay, it kind of feels like the old chapter was written for you. This was the old chapter. Okay. And with this circle of divine energy, I feel like Spirit is telling you, like, it's time. You know, I almost feel like we can't turn away from the threshold this time, yeah? So we also have a Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is kind of a moody energy, you know? I think for a lot of you, there's maybe been like a melancholy, or there's been like an emotional kind of mood that's just kind of like, it's been thick for a while. You know, there's been just kind of a vibe in your life. And I think that you're ready to uncover the reasons why you've been feeling the way you've been feeling. This is someone who's very sensitive, someone who is sensitive to the needs of other people. Probably a lot of you are empaths. This is the way that I think, well, especially for cancers, I think this is the way we sometimes get into a mood, and it's like the water just kind of settles in a certain vibe, and it just kind of stays there for a while, you know? So in a way, this is kind of asking us, like, how long does it take us to get out of our moods that we're in? Okay. I think a lot of you are experiencing some energy coming in from friends or family members that feels it affects you deeply. So there's something going on with a close person, a friend or family member, someone going on with a loved one that is really affecting you and maybe influencing your decisions right now. Okay? It may be that somebody is putting some emotional demands on you, or even maybe physical demands or even financial demands, but they're playing on your emotions, you know? That their needs, again, this loved one, whatever their needs are, is affecting you emotionally, and it's influencing your decisions. And it might be part of that Empress energy too, that's saying you want to help everybody, but sometimes you got to help yourself. So maybe you have somebody that really they're in a bad way and they need money from you. Okay? But you're in that position where you realize you can give them that money, but then you're going to be in a bad way too now. Okay? So it may be that you're in that kind of a pickle with someone in your life, that your emotion, your sensitivity, your love, your heart says, I want to help them. I need to help them. But at the same time, you realize that you also need that sustenance. Okay? I think a lot of you are feeling a kind of a discomfort in life. We have that stress energy, that 5 of Swords, right? I feel like going through this process of change, going through this doorway and this choice, I think is going to lead to a very marked improvement in your mood. I feel like right now with this Queen of Cups, there's kind of an underlying melancholy. You know, there's this underlying, just kind of like, I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm just kind of low vibes, you know. I think we're kind of making a decision now to fire up. Yeah. So I think your mood is going to be improving through this choice that you're making, through this kind of liberation, through using your voice, through maybe like finding something that's worth fighting for, and getting involved with something new, and stepping away from this Hierophant energy. Okay. The Queen of Cups is also a card that is saying or advising self-love and emotional intelligence, emotional honesty, understanding the mood that we're in and why we're in it. And then, of course, the Queen of Swords is that objectivity, the ability to lift yourself out of your mood and understand, okay, what is the right choice for me to make? Okay, how can I be very, very honest with myself and not be influenced by my feelings or influenced by my mood or influenced by the emotions or moods of other people? You don't have to take on the emotions of other people. How can you separate yourself from that and be as objective as possible and see the sort of bigger picture here? Okay. I think a lot of you are starting to, kind of think more long term. Yeah. Starting to look at your life as kind of a big picture, a big map, and thinking, I gotta take some different different roads to get to the future that I want to have. Okay, I think the Queen of Swords is an attempt for us to ask ourselves, what decision would I make if it weren't for my feelings, if it weren't for how much I care about everybody and how sensitive all that, if it was just based on objectivity, truth, logic, whatever, what choice would I make? Yeah. I feel that for some of you, there has been a kind of a revelation. I feel like for some of you, the scales have fallen from your eyes, and you're starting to see the truth about certain things in your life. That I think there's been a little bit of emotional manipulation. Okay, and I don't like that word, manipulation. I feel like there has been some elements in your life that have played upon your sensitivity or your kind of emotional generosity. Okay, so I feel that a lot of you are having a kind of revelation about that, and that might be helping you to make some big choices in your life now. The Death card at the end, to me, feels like it is a gradual progress. This is slow change. This is fast change. So the slow change of the Death card is it's an evolution over time. Okay, this decision is leading to a very, very abrupt change, and then from there it's going to be a slow, steady progress of evolution. Okay, slowly putting the past behind you. The Death card is also reminding us that we're never truly separated from our past. Everything we've ever been through, everything we've ever learned, everything we've ever been taught is still with us. It's just recycled now. Everything you've already learned, every experience you've ever had is not forgotten. It's not worthless. It's not meaningless. It's recycled into a transcendent wisdom. All the textbooks that you've read, right? They may be outdated, antiquated, outmoded, or whatever, but they're still there as a foundation. They just need to be like, I don't know, it's almost like retranslated or something, So the Death card is reminding you that you are who you are because of that past, but it's sort of our responsibility to keep moving. Okay? So I think a lot of you are in this process of evolving, shedding a skin. Okay? Kind of putting the past behind you, but realizing that it's always going to be here with us, and it goes into making up who I am, but it's not defining you, and it's not dictating your choices, and it's not controlling you or blocking you or anything. It's not limiting you. This is a card, again, of slow and steady change over the course of time. So I think that the choices that you're making now are going to set a lot of long-term changes in motion. Okay? And the fruit of all of those changes are going to be slower to come in, but they will be coming in. Okay? In a way, this card is saying, once you go through this doorway, you make this choice, don't give up on it. Okay? Don't start lamenting the fact that, changes aren't happening. I'm not seeing any results. It's going to take time. Okay? Whatever the next phase of your life is, you're having to construct it. You're having to build it up. And Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay? This card might be a slow letting go of something. Yeah. And especially when we're looking at the queens, too. The queens are looking at the past, processing and ending. Okay? That, even though you're making this very abrupt move, this very sudden change, it's going to take you a while to be fully done processing this energy, or to be fully separated from this. Now, again, it's recycled. It's not ever gone. It doesn't go away. But the processing of the ending okay, is going to take a lot longer. This is instantaneous. Boom, right? But the processing of this event, the mental and emotional work that you're going to have to do is going to take a lot longer to progress, but it's worth it, okay? Here's our mystery card. What do we have? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be an ace of something, or it's going to be the High Priestess. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. It's a King of Cups. It is your authentic voice, okay? It is you feeling as if you're learning how to use that voice. Yeah, you're coming into your own belief system. You're forming your own opinions and thoughts, and you're evolving your own way of life, your own system, your own path. I think you're harmonizing your heart and your mind. Okay, I think that you are. You kind of are like, you're establishing your own mission or your own system. It's kind of like you're not conforming to any pre-existing structure. You're taking from everywhere, and you're building something that's unique to you. And that might be the Death card as well, right? Not trying to forget everything we've learned, but how do I recycle that and reconstruct that into something that's mine? Yeah. This is a fixed water energy. And so I think that it's you believing in your own individuality, your own uniqueness, your own authentic self, and your own voice. I don't know how else to explain that really, but I think a lot of you are kind of you're setting off in a new direction. You're creating your own path through life. And it kind of looks like we're cutting our own way through the jungle here, right? You're not doing the traditional thing. You're going your own way. I think it's going to be challenging, but it's going to be very rewarding. And now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Cancer on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.